very good morning. It's a brand new week. Well, welcome to Motivation Monday, where we start off your week with challenging conversations and inspiring stories. Where are you tuned in from? Where are you listening to us from? We just want to remind you that we are spread across Kenya. And so if you're in Nairobi, our frequency is 103.9. Nyeri, it's 87.9. Mombasa, 97.9. Nakuru, 102.1. Meru, 107.7. And Kisumu, 96.5. But also we have the Family Media app that you can download from Play Store, from Apple Store, and you're able to access all of our programs. Now, the schools have been closed and the children are on holiday. What a time to be a parent. If you're there and you're a parent, how are you coping? What coping mechanisms are you using now that, especially for the children who are in boarding school? We would love to hear from you. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. But perhaps you're struggling and you're wondering, a child has come home with bad grades, not for the first time, but consistently. Or perhaps it is that they have been chased from school. They have a suspension letter, an expulsion letter even. What do we do when our children seem not to have any chance in life at all because of their status currently? Well, today's conversation is one of those where you need to pull a seat and listen to this. It's actually a bit of an emotional conversation for me because the guest that I have in studio is one of the people that has actually shaped and molded me into the person that I am today. That's right. Today I get to have a sitting with my former high school teacher, Mrs. Meb Goro. And so let's just get right into this conversation as we tackle the topic, every child has a chance. Welcome, Mwalimu.
Thank you so much, Pastor Mukaya.
It's so good. Now I'm just Mukaya to you. Pastor came later.
Pastor came later, yes.
Yes, what an honor and a privilege to have this sitting with you.
I'm happy to meet you after a very long time.
Yeah, I think one of the things that our audience, those listening and those watching us will not realize is I actually schooled in Dandora Secondary School.
Yes.
Grew up in Korogocho slums.
Yes.
Went to a primary school there and then later joined Dandora Secondary School. A very harsh environment.
Yes.
And thanks to people like you, as God would have it, look at how life turned out.
Of course.
Yeah, but before we get into the conversation today, as we look at every child has a chance, kindly just help us appreciate, a brief about who you are. Just give us a brief about yourself.
Okay, as you've heard, my name is Meb Goro. I'm married with 4 children. I have 3 grandchildren. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for the last 35 years.
Wow. And
life is good. As a teacher, it's motivating, it's fulfilling. And I thank God for the fire he has brought me up to this time. Yeah. With challenges, yes, but all is well.
All right. All is well. All right.
Yes.
So just give us a brief of your teaching history. 36 years.
36 years.
Those are many years. I wouldn't say how old I am, but those are many years.
Of course, there are many years.
Yeah. So just a brief history of your teaching journey.
Yeah. I started teaching in 1989 as a young girl, still single, not married. And teaching is actually a calling. Okay. It is a calling because if you don't have the heart to teach, you may not be able to teach. Because you find that you are supposed to deal with human beings, to mold their brains, and for them to be what you want them to be, it's actually a big challenge. Yeah. So the teaching career has been shaky, but you find that the product you get is what motivates you to teach. So there are so many challenges you find in school, starting from the parents, the students, the teachers themselves, the environment. So you need the heart. But I don't regret being a teacher. Because I started teaching in Siaya. Then I came to Nairobi, Dandora Secondary School, and that is where the drama is.
So Dandora Secondary School, when did you begin in Dandora Secondary School?
I came in 2003.
2003. That's
Yes.
like 21 years.
21 years in Dandora.
Are you still there?
I'm still there, waiting to
Wow.
retire.
Those are many years.
Yes.
Now, our audience may not appreciate, but let's just paint a bit of a picture.
Yes.
At least I studied there for 4 years.
Yes.
When I was there, I don't know if you remember,
Yes.
there was an article in one of the dailies, you
The
know,
most dangerous
inside
school.
Nairobi, Kenya's most dangerous school.
I remember very well.
Yeah, just help us appreciate the kind of environment we are talking about when we talk about Dandora Secondary School.
Dandora is a very harsh environment with a very negative name. And indeed, the things that goes around it has an influence in the students. And the time we became the most dangerous school in Kenya, it was because of what was happening around. There was the issue of Mungiki,
Yeah.
and our students were, part of them were Mungiki. They were so arrogant. I know there are people who can know if you push them too much, they actually rebel. So you know, you want them to learn, you want them to toe the line. They had to.
Yeah.
And I remember we had a principal called Mr. Kimathi. You remember?
I remember, yes.
So it was the influence from outside. There's drugs, there's violence, so many negative things. And no, for a child who has come from such an environment,
Yeah.
when they come to school, it's not easy to tame them. As much as we try, but
Yeah.
there are some you cannot tame.
Yeah.
And this is what resulted in having such a bad name. But I thank God now Dandora is wonderful. I wish you should come and see. It has changed. The
Yeah.
name is no longer there.
Yeah.
And we are trying to make it become a place where you come in and you see a different environment,
Yeah.
make it positive. We are creating an image in doing so many things
Yeah.
that is changing the whole name of Dandora. But it's a very harsh environment.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
time I was there, at least when I was a student, I know it
Yes.
is still there, but I know
Yes.
the fence of the school actually
Yes.
borders the Dandora
The dump
dumping
site,
site,
yes.
the famous Dandora dumping site.
Yes.
When I was there was no perimeter wall. I think last time I was there, I saw a perimeter wall on that side. And one of the things I remember is sometimes, you know, during the day, the marabou stock,
Yes.
you know, would come to the field. For those of you that are from the ghetto, we call them hongo.
Hongo.
You know? And they will just fill the entire, and then the stench
Yes.
from the dumping site. But you have success stories.
Yes.
Like you said, it was a very harsh environment. But what has been your most, you know, the most difficult student you have had to deal with? And yet things turned out.
Now, there
Well.
was this particular student who was into drugs. And he would come to school when he's not high. You know, he's just like a zombie.
Yeah.
And the family was very poor. Now, for him to get money to buy drugs, he had to steal. So there was so much theft in his class. Books being stolen, dictionaries, calculators, until the day he was caught. And when he was caught, he wanted to beat the teacher.
Wow.
He wanted to beat the teacher. So it was actually a case that the board had to handle. We took him for rehabilitation. And after coming back, of course, he was changed. No, we had to talk to him. You know, this is your life you are destroying.
Yeah.
With drugs, you cannot go anywhere. And with these things you are doing,
Yeah.
you won't live the next 2-3 years. You are going to die. So I think that actually touched him. And he decided to change. So
Yeah.
when he came back, he now became, in fact, he became a class prefect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that he could now take care of those whom he was mistreating. And after so many years now, he did the exam. He managed to get a C-.
That's good.
Very encouraging. So he went to Nairobi Technical. He did electrical engineering. And now he's doing very fine.
Wow.
And he's very happy.
Wow. And he could easily have been written off.
Yes, he could.
Yeah.
But we don't give up on them.
Yeah.
Unless you refuse,
Yeah.
we don't give up on you. Yes, we make sure you come back, you change. However bad you are,
Yeah.
you must be in school
Yeah.
and you must finish what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. What drives you? What motivates you? Because, for example, if I just give a bit of my own story,
Yes.
passing through your hands, I was not a very good student.
Yes.
In fact, you know, I got a child when I was in Form 3.
Yes.
To just cut the long story short. But I remember one of those days, I think I was in Form 2.
Yes.
I would sneak into school whatever time I wanted. And I had, lies from here to Timbuktu. Every teacher would meet, oh, this happened, this happened. And I remember just one of those days, meeting with you, and you telling me, Moka, this is the last time you will come to school late. That is one instance I remember.
Yes.
The other instances where I didn't care much for the grades. I was a sharp student, but, was not careful about my performance. And you actually, putting me on the line.
Yes.
What motivates you when you encounter students like the kind of student I was to still not throw in the towel, but to do the hard work of trying to get us to where we need to be?
When you get a student, you know their potential. Despite the character, you know their potential. And once you know their potential, you identify that, you want to develop that so that they're able to fulfill it. So as a teacher, it's a passion that for you to mold this child to be where they're supposed to be is actually fulfilling. So I had to ensure that Mokaya, you must, and you must pass at whatever cost. So, you actually enforce the discipline, you enforce the academics in them, and you ensure that every day you must make sure you will see what Mokaya is doing. So when you follow up a student and they see it is in their interest, they actually change. And they come back to their sense and indeed, why am I wasting my brains? So there are those who are not blessed with brains, but they struggle to perform. So if you're wasting your brains, I would wish you take this and give somebody who does not have the brains.
But is willing to use them.
But is willing to use them. So when you talk to them, it helps them to actually realize, indeed, I have a potential. I'm wasting this opportunity that may never come. So they decide to change. So it's a matter of pushing them, following them, monitoring every day. And if a child is monitored every day, of course they have to change. You will not miss the way. Najua mwalimu is here. If I go here, Mrs. Goro is here. If I go here, Mrs. Goro is here. You will not miss the way. You must have to toe the line. And that's what happened to you. And actually, I held your hand. I knew, Mokaya, you must. There's no choice there. And I remember, and I'm grateful for that, and really grateful. And I know I'm not alone. I think our year was one of those, best years of Dandora Secondary School. You are quite a number.
What are some of the, when you just look back at some of the students that have passed through your hands, in what career and professions are they in now, that sometimes you just sit and are grateful to God that they actually passed through your hands?
In fact, what I love with Dandora, the resilience that those students have. Once they have gone through school, after so many years, meet them, they're doing so well. We've had doctors, we've had pharmacists, we've had lawyers. Now we have a pastor. All kind of professions. There are those who are abroad, like there's one in Japan. There also is in Dubai, I think, or where. They're all over. All professions, nurses, you get them. Starting from the highest to the lowest. All the jobs, you find them. So there are a range of professions. Even those who get ease. But you find that after a few years, you meet them in town, they are working.
So and they've made something out of their lives. At
least they never idle. They never stay idle. They do something even after school. And that is what motivates us. So once you know that you can get your D+ or you get your C-, that is what we want. Respective of where you're coming from, respective of what you got in your primary, in your KCP, it doesn't matter. As long as you have gone through high school and you're able to acquire certain skills that can make you live in the society. That is what is important. And discipline is paramount.
That's such an important point, and we will be picking it up. Because today's conversation is about every child having a chance. And that will be an important point to pick. But we can easily have this conversation and somebody right there is feeling, then it must have been so easy for you. But what are the challenges that you have had to go through as a teacher, but especially as a teacher in a school like Dandora Secondary School? The
biggest challenge we have is, apart from the environment, the family setup of most of the students. Most of them come from broken families, single parents. And there's also a lot of violence and a lot of negative things in those families, which actually affect the students. Then also the issue of poverty, because they are not financially stable to actually support their children in school. But as a teacher, because we know that education actually what equalizes everybody, whether you are rich, whether you are poor or wherever, as long as you're able to get education, then you are the same as any other students, whether in Dandora, whether in Nairobi school, in Kenya High, it equalizes all of us. And that's what we actually try to give the students, opportunity to get education, irrespective of where you are coming from. And normally we deal with the parents. Of course, we know their parents, we know the background of the student. So if they come from very poor families, we see how we can actually assist the parents to ensure the child goes through school. And surprisingly, those students who live with even grandparents.
Like myself.
Yes, like yourself. The grandparents are very committed than even their own parents. They're the ones who make a follow-up. And in fact, we have one grandparent who brings in 100 bob every day, shillings, coins, and we count.
For school fees?
For school fees. Nowadays, it's lunch levy. There's no fees. It's just for their lunch. Every day she comes with 100 shillings. Mashilingi. You have to count and keep it for her. So at the end of the month, we pay. So we ensure that the child is in school so that they don't send them home. So parents actually, but some don't care. So when a parent does not care, is when now we have a problem with the student. But otherwise, it is a very big challenge, but we are managing. So we partner with also, we can get some sponsorship donors who can come in and support us to ensure that these kids go through school. And that is our main aim. Whether you are bad, in character or wherever, in performance, we want you to pass through school because education is not about academics. It also shapes you as a person. You acquire some skills that can help you also live within the society. So that's what we're actually working on.
Oh, wonderful. Wow. I think just that whole issue of parents is definitely a big one.
That's a big issue.
Because families do tend to shape how children eventually turn out to be. You taught me English. You know, and we don't call them English teacher of English.
Teacher of English.
And just help us appreciate, because for people like us, we don't grow in our homes speaking English. So even by the time we get to high school, you know, we are not polished in our English. We do not necessarily know how to communicate, but this is the trade. Actually, what I do involves a lot of speaking English, all thanks to you. So how are you able to take this child that lacks sometimes even the foundations of the language, for example? Do you still teach English?
Yes, I still teach English.
How do you assist that child to grow to a level where I can hold my own right now with anyone and communicate in this language that was not necessarily a language I grew up in?
Okay. You know, language, learning a language starts from primary school, whereby if you miss it out in primary school and you come to high school, it may not be very easy for you to communicate. But, you know, language is acquired through speaking. So the more you speak, the better you become. So, but we find that students who don't speak English, you find that they are not able to communicate, not even understand the language of the exam. And this contributes to their failure also. So what we do is to encourage debate in class and discussions, and to ensure that they're able to read as many storybooks as possible. Because with the coming of the Sheng and you know, the way they speak at home, you find that they cannot speak a full sentence without putting in a Kiswahili word. Or they ask teacher, can I speak in Kiswahili? But we say no, speak in English. So they actually strive. And the discussion is what helps. Because the more you speak, the more you're able to learn a language. And with that one, we find that they, at the end of the first, second year, they can communicate. So it actually improves as they continue going to Form 3 and Form 4, because Form 3 and Form 4, we have the set books that they have to read and discuss and present. So giving them an audience to speak within the class setting, help them to gain the confidence and also to speak the language. So if they make mistakes, correct them politely, and they pick up and they continue.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. I remember one of those you've mentioned about discussions in class.
Yes.
The literature book that we did was Coming to Birth.
Yes.
And one of those, I remember you'd given me a task to role play Paulina.
Yes.
And then the class would ask questions and I would respond as though I was Paulina. And it is true. I think there is much value that happens around that. But I want us to continue this conversation, especially now when we come back, to touch a bit more on the different weaknesses that may beset different students and what then happens in terms of actually us realizing if, for example, I'm not as gifted academically, it's not the end for me.
Yes.
If, you know, character, especially for parents looking at the child still has a chance. So I want us to continue with that conversation. This is Motivation Monday. And today we have such an interesting conversation that you need to hear this. If you're a parent and you have a child that you've probably given up on, or if you're there, you're a student, and you're like, I don't think my life will amount to anything. Well, this conversation today might perhaps change your view about that. We're talking about every child has a chance. I am a testimony of that. And today, again, I am joined with my former high school teacher, one of the people God used to shape and mold me. And so please send us your comments, send us your feedback. 20316 is the SMS line, 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. But let's get back to this conversation. Welcome back, Mwalimu.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Now, just before we went on a break, you'd mentioned a few things. And one of the most profound things you said is some students may not necessarily attain the best grade.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it is over for them, because school is still important in terms of the other necessary skills that we learn for life. Talk to a student, perhaps right now. They are doing their very best. But for some reason, it seems as though academics is just not working.
Yeah.
And they want to quit school. Encourage that particular student.
Okay. Of course, not all of us have the same ability in terms of academics. And in the message, you say that education equalizes, but still there's that variation in how we end. But what I know about students, and as a learner, you know yourself. You know where your potential is. If you're not gifted academically, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. Because there's so many things you can do in life apart from academics. But academics just improves you as a person. So getting even a D is not the end of the world.
Okay.
You can make that D to become a success story. The issue is, how do you handle your failures?
Okay.
A failure should be a stepping stone to success. But of course, almost all of us have failed in life once or even twice. But how do you handle that? Do you remain where you have failed, or do you just wake up and dust yourself and pick yourself and start again? That's what is important. Because as much as you fail, you are supposed to be aiming somewhere. And that should be a stepping stone to motivate you to get better from where you are. And the good thing is that the government has opened up so many TVET colleges that is supposed to absorb every student. Whether you get an E, you get a D-, it doesn't matter. But what we see, most of the students, they don't see that as an opening to a better life. They believe I've got an E, that's the end of it. And they want to live the same life that their parents are living. That circle continues, which they can easily break. Because they know that the government is there, is paying part of that money for you to train in college. These are skills that if you acquire, you're going to be self-employed. You can start your own company, employ people to work for you. So it doesn't matter what you get. But are you self-driven as a student? That respective of what I get, I have to be focused and forge ahead. I'm not supposed to remain here. And we always tell them, you are supposed to change your life. Don't let that circle continue. You come from a very poor background, and you still want to remain there. And one thing I will not forget about you, Mokaya, One day you came to assembly and what did you say? You're putting on a very torn trouser, patched.
Yeah, yes.
And you told the students, this trouser I'm wearing is my parents' life. It's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
My life will be on the other side of Nairobi. And that's where you are now.
It's
so
true.
You see, yeah. Huh? So it was in your mind.
Yes.
Are you positive in your mind that this life is not mine? In fact, in high school, you are living your parents' life, not your life. You are one who is supposed to shape your life the way it's supposed to be, depending on your attitude and how your mind thinks.
Yeah.
So the mindset is what matters a lot. And we always talk to them, encourage them. Don't mind about your failures. It doesn't matter. You can become a success story.
Yeah.
And yours will be a very good success story than somebody who gets an A and becomes a doctor. You see? Because you've struggled through life.
Yeah.
You've done your certificate, you've done your diploma, you've done your degree. That's a process.
It's true.
And you've come out a very skilled person that has high demand in
society.
In the society.
Yeah.
So it is a chance for every student. Wherever you are, whatever you are coming from does not matter.
Yeah.
It's your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what you said, because sometimes we assume that it is only those who go to the university that are successful. And especially because of, the kind of school that Dandora Secondary School was and is now. Part of just the disadvantage that we have in the country is because of other circumstances that just beyond education. There are students that do not have the freedom even to reach their full potential. And so like Dandora, only a few students will go to the university.
Yes.
Then it was JAB, now it is COOPS. And not many parents have the privilege of, say, affording private education or parallel education as was then.
Yes.
But I know of students, I know of a friend of mine who, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think he went to the university. He didn't perform poorly, but I don't think he went to the university as some of us did. But right now, he's running a company and he's an employer.
Yes.
The other time I was with him, I was like, please, I have a relative. Please, do you mind? And he's doing very well. His turnover is in millions. I think you know him, Harrison.
Yes.
And probably he will be watching this. Yeah. He runs an internet, providing service. He does so many things. And those are the success stories we are talking about. That he doesn't have to look one particular way. And I think that's really an amazing thing that you have said.
Yes.
But now, this one who is, we've looked at that one who, in the area of academic, maybe there is a struggle.
Yes.
But now there is another one who probably was like me. I didn't struggle much on the academic side, but on the character side. And they're at a point they feel, I have messed up my life. I have gotten involved with people I shouldn't. I have gotten involved with things I shouldn't. And they're just feeling, maybe this is the end of me. What do you tell a student like that?
It is not the end until you say you are done. And there's always a turning point, whether you are bad, So, and what I believe, when you realize you have done something wrong and you come to your senses, you need to actually turn around and start afresh. Because we've had cases of students who actually dropped out of school because of their conduct. And now when they realize that actually they did something wrong, they come back and start from Form 1.
Wow.
At the age of 20, 25. In fact, like now we have somebody who is 25 doing Form 4.
Wow.
Who has been out for a very long time. Because mistakes are part of life. And that's what makes your story interesting.
Yeah.
And you can be a testimony to others that this happened to me, then you should not, if it happens to you, you should not give up.
Yeah.
So the turnaround point, it calls for, you have to make a decision and shut out any other negative thought. Of course, people will laugh at you.
Yeah.
But if you come out strong and decide, I have to make a change in my life. Because character, you can change it. You are the one who is supposed to change it.
Yeah.
As much as we are going to help you, but you are the one to change yourself to become a better person. And what I love with those people who change, they have an impact on the others.
Yeah.
A very big impact. and they can actually change the whole environment within where they are.
Yeah.
Because it's a testimony. So and so was like this, but now you see, is a very good person. So character is not an issue, but it's you who can destroy yourself because you don't want to change.
Yeah.
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 So I believe it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Turning point is always there for all of us. And all of us make mistakes. Yours is not the worst one. Yeah. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
It's just a one among the many. So if you realize mistakes are there and they're supposed to make you mature, you have an experience,
Yeah.
it's going to make your life better. Yeah.
Okay, so in essence, what you're saying is just make the decision.
Yes.
And especially now, because of the environment that you, I would call it, serve in. Because
Yes.
teaching, like you said, is a calling, just
Yes.
like mine is a calling. In that environment that you serve in, especially just because of the kind of influence that is around there. Some of us, part of our struggle was, to be honest, because of the influence.
Yes.
What do you tell this young person, you know, the influence from left, from right, from all over, not so good influence?
Yes.
It seems I want to do right,
Yes.
but when I turn back, it's like it's so hard to do that which I know is right.
It is a big challenge, yes, because, you know, when we have them in school, you're able to control what they do, who they interact with. And once they leave the gate,
Yeah,
it's something else.
yeah,
So normally we partner with parents and always try to monitor, especially those who have issues of
Yeah.
character.
yeah,
We talk with the parents, you find out, you make a call almost every day, how is so-and-so? No. So, you know, when you call, you tell
Yeah.
the parent, can I talk to so-and-so?
yeah.
So they know your teacher are monitoring what they are doing.
Aha.
So it helps to keep them in check. But also we've had counseling programs.
Okay.
People come to talk to them and tell them about the influence. We even had the police force coming to talk to them.
Even the police force?
Yes.
Yeah,
Several times talk to them about the consequences
Yeah.
of what they do and so on.
yeah,
But mostly it's working with the parents.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, you know, it's something you cannot avoid because they have to go back home.
yeah.
So with the talking and monitoring, you're able to at least keep them on check a bit. But influence is there.
Yeah.
In fact, it's actually making many students to lose direction. But we are always there for them.
Yeah.
So in such, if you have a child who actually is very good and is being misdirected, normally what we do, we adopt that child. Is now I take you as my son and I work with you.
Yeah.
So
As
that
you
one,
did for
yes,
me.
yes. So that one actually now helped them to know, okay, I have a mother in school. As much as I'm going home,
Yeah.
somebody is there whom I'm supposed to answer to. So they actually help them a lot,
Yeah.
make them to grow.
Yeah, and
But
that's
the
really-
influence is, it's too bad.
It's bad, and it will be worth mentioning because even as we are talking about every child has a chance, and the
Yes.
reason why this conversation is important is because the consequences of these students not realizing the full potential is actually dire.
Yes.
And having taught in Dandora Secondary School, there's also the other side.
Yes.
And if you don't mind just telling us a bit about that, of students who you know, when you hear stories after school, maybe they were murdered or they got involved in things that are not pleasant. Just tell us a bit of that other side that is quite heartbreaking.
Yeah, the other side is quite sad. And these are students that we've tried to nurture, and they become so adamant and difficult. In fact, there's a very sad case of one student who was actually very troublesome in school, breaking lockers, doing what. So this particular day, it was the previous day he had broken somebody's desk and stolen some books to go and sell. So the next day, he did not come to school because he knew the case was there.
Yeah.
The other day, the following day, just to hear he was shot dead. It's very sad. A student.
This is not even 18-year-old.
It's not even 18-year-old.
This is a child.
Yeah. Huh? So such cases are there, and they're quite a number. Even those who have finished school. You hear so-and-so was killed, so-and-so was stoned to death. You know, they are there.
Yeah.
And if you look at their history in school, they refuse to listen to teachers.
Yeah.
They refuse to change completely. And so when they go out, that's what they meet.
Yeah.
And there are quite a number of them, but it's very sad.
It is.
It's very sad
is.
because we are supposed to mold them. So anybody who refuses to be molded in school always face that outside. Yeah. So it's a very sad story.
Yeah.
And even the bright ones are the same.
Yeah.
Not just these who don't perform, but even the good ones. As long as your character is not good, and you're not willing to change, that is not the result.
Yeah.
Some are even in jail up to now. Yeah, because of mugging people.
Yeah.
But majority, at least, we are able to change them.
Yeah. And I like what you said about working in partnership with parents.
Yes.
And the reason why bringing that other side was important is because even for a parent and perhaps a student watching this, that this most likely will end up being you if we are not careful. Sometimes, we like just associating with the success stories.
Yes.
But if our life right now does not mirror, the success we desire, it may not end there. And I think the reason why this conversation is important is so that somebody may be saved from that kind of consequence. And I want us to take another break. But then when we come back, I want us to touch now on parents.
Okay.
And what role they can play. Now you have a child at home. You're pulling your hair. You're wondering, what will I do? We desire here to bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. And what a challenging conversation we're having today on every child has a chance. From one of the very best that you will hear this from. Many students have passed through her hands. She has seen many students, teachers in one of the most difficult places in the country. And yet, many success stories have come as a result. The person talking to you is one of those success stories. And what a conversation we are having. But are you there and you're a woman? Are you a woman of purpose? And do you desire to finish 2024 and beyond at your best self? Well, the Liberty Christian Center Nairobi, under the leadership of Bishop Kefa and Reverend Rose Omai, invites all you ladies to this year's Woman of Purpose conference. This will be happening this coming Thursday, the 15th of August, all the way to the 18th of August, this year of the Lord 2024. The conference will be beginning from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at RGC Liberty Christian Center. This is located along Mombasa Road off Likoni Road in South B. This is just behind the Quickmart supermarket. The theme for this year's conference is Woman, Thou Art Restored, and the conference seeks to renew you, to restore you, to revive you, and to cause you to be relevant. Now, some of the topics that will be covered include spiritual growth, mental health, women health, financial freedom, business startups, and many more. An array of speakers have been lined up, including Bishop Dr. Moses and Reverend Caroline Ashun from Atlanta, Georgia, Pastor Elizabeth Akinyi from Nairobi, Reverend Mercy Ruto from Eldoret, and their very own Reverend Rose Nyamwea. Well, if you're there and you're a man and you're feeling, I feel left out, do not worry, because in the evenings they will be having revivals that run from 5 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. This is the best part. This conference is absolutely free. And so if you want more information, kindly feel free to contact Mariam on 0722-327-125 or Miriam on 0723-860-074. We are looking forward to seeing you there. God bless you. But now, let us get back to our conversation at hand. Every child has a chance.
Yes.
Now, we ended by saying, looking at the other side of this conversation of the unfortunate effects when some of these students are not redeemed, some of these children are not helped.
Yes.
That unfortunately the end for some of them is not very good.
Yes.
Now let's talk to parents. And I like you said you like partnering with parents.
Yes.
What really is the role of parents in seeing their children turn out okay?
Okay, first, the upbringing of a child matters a lot. And the first discipline a child gets is at home from the parents. So when they now come to high school, what we get from parents, they feel that these students are now adults, which they are not. They are still children.
Yeah.
So parents tend to take a back seat and leave the teachers to do the work. And this is where now the parents go wrong.
Yeah.
Because as a parent, for your child to be able to succeed, you must play your role effectively. In terms of discipline,
Yeah.
provision, advice, and everything about it. Your child can never be too big for you. Even if you now, Mokaya, if you are my son, you cannot be too big for me.
That's true.
If you do something wrong, I say, Mokaya, no, not that. But parents have left that for the teachers. So the students see us as enemies because parents do not play their role. And that is where now such cases are the ones that end up drastic. Because normally we find that students that have discipline issues, we call parents on board. And some parents do not want to take responsibility. You tell your child is like this, they say, no, my child cannot do this. Unaonea mtoto wangu.
Yeah.
And when they start saying that, that child cannot be redeemed. So to parents, take care of your child. It's your responsibility. If you are told your child is doing this and this and this, can you support what the teacher is saying? Hold your hands together. And with that way, you're able to shape this child.
Yeah.
Even at the age of 18, still they're your child. You are feeding them. They're under your roof.
Yeah.
So you are the one who has the final decision. As much as they have rights, rights have limits.
Yeah.
And there also have to be responsibilities. So it's parents that actually are not taking so much care of their children. They're too busy.
Yeah.
They don't know what their children are doing. Some of them leave early in the morning, late in the night.
Yeah.
So they never see their children.
Yeah.
And therefore, now we are the ones who decide, okay, let us take this child up. We call the parent. Can we work together? If you're in contact with the teacher all the time, especially the class teacher, your child will never go wrong.
Yeah.
Because they know that both of you are actually playing your role.
Yeah.
It's not just about money. Why pay so much money and then you lose your child?
That's true.
Yeah. Because that's what most parents are doing.
Yeah.
Too busy looking for money, forgetting these kids need attention. But our attention is not enough in school. At home, play your role as a parent.
Yeah.
Be responsible, talk to them, guide them, counsel them, and ensure that you're in contact with the teacher always.
Yeah.
So that we're able to handle issues that arise. Because they start small.
Yeah. And then they grow.
And then they grow if they're not cut before they bud up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very challenging for parents. We are too busy for our children, which should not be the case. At least pay even a day and sit with them and talk. Yeah. Making follow-up is very important.
Yeah. Sometimes there are parents, maybe there's a parent listening to this, but they're like, Mwalimu, you completely don't understand my situation. I have to wake up very early in the morning and come back because I'm the only one. I am the breadwinner. And the nature of my work is, this is what I have to do, especially for that kind of a parent. And from the environment, that you teach, there are many. Maybe it's a single, mother. Nowadays, we also have single fathers. And they have to fend, so they have to leave very early, come very late. What do you tell such a parent just before they feel, okay, I guess my case is gone?
No, your case is not gone. Yeah. In fact, technology nowadays has made things easy. Just a phone call is enough.
Okay.
If you are too busy to come and see the teacher or visit your child in school, a phone call is very important. And that's what we encourage parents.
Yeah.
Can you call?
Okay.
Of course, we are looking for money. Even as we look for money.
That's true.
Yeah. But the issue is, at whose expense? Yeah. At whose expense? And, you cannot be busy 24/7.
That's true.
Mr. Mokaya. You cannot. So even if one day you'll go home to attend a funeral, Oshiago, you'll get permission.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you think you are too busy, then you'll realize later, now when things are wrong.
Yeah.
Whom will you blame?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least spare even a few hours. You can just pass through school early in the morning because we are there by 7.
Yeah.
Just talk to the class teacher or the academic department about your child, and you go to work.
Yeah.
So that's the excuse parents have, but I believe it's not. It should not be. It should not be. Because we do other things. When it's a personal issue, you get permission to do it.
But if it is a child, we feel we are busy.
We are too busy.
So is it a case of priorities then?
It's a case of priorities.
Okay.
And neglecting responsibility. Yeah. Why can't you call? If you are really serious, why can't you call?
Yeah.
The class teacher knows very well that you are working. Why can't you call the class teacher? Even at night now when you come back from work, your child is there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing homework or they're just sitting with you. Can you call the class teacher? Okay, I'm so-and-so, parent to so-and-so. Can you tell me about so-and-so? And he's there, he's listening.
Yeah.
So he'll know when in contact with the teacher.
Yeah.
But parents don't. They only wait until you call them. When there's a case is when they come. Yeah.
As you're saying, we can salvage this. You don't have to wait for when issues have arisen.
Yes.
But you can keep tabs on the development of your child.
Yes.
Wow.
We just tell them, can you call? That's what we always tell them. Can you just call? You don't have to come.
Yeah.
If you're too busy, call.
Yeah.
That's the same as being there. Yes.
Okay. But now there's a parent who's desirous of doing all these things. But they're feeling, but where my child has gotten, this looks like a gone case. When I look at their grades, when I look at their character, maybe right now the parent is just staring at the suspension letter or even a letter of expulsion. And they just feel like, I have lost this. What hope do you give such a parent?
There's so much hope. There's a lot of hope for such students because we have them. Even up to now, they're still in school.
Yeah.
Where parents are just thought this is a gone case. But as we join our hands together, we have the counseling department, the class teacher, and the school principal. They always change. No child is gone.
Yeah.
I remember we had a case of just a Form 1 boy. They just come in. And that's the first time I saw what shisha, it's called shisha, is.
Yes.
He brought them to school and they were selling them in school. Yes.
Form 1?
At Form 1.
Wow.
And his case was bad because he had actually recruited so many Form 1s in the group. Case was bad, but now the good thing was the parents was very positive and had to put his foot down. Yeah. By now, this boy, you cannot even know he's in school.
Wow.
He's doing so well. He's so responsible. I wonder, are you in school really? I've never seen you for so many months. Yeah. He's there. So it's about putting hands together and not losing hope. Pray for them, guide them, counsel them, and be there. They'll always change. Yeah. They'll always change. Yeah. There's no child that's difficult that cannot change. But if you say, this one is gone, we salvage them. Yes. And we've done many. Yeah. 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 And they go through school and they come back to say, teacher, it was not for you. I would be done. Yeah. And they appreciate it. So as a parent, do not give up on your child. Yeah. Can you partner with the teacher? And you are going to see the fruits of that. Yeah. Yeah. I like We give them chances. We never send them away, however bad you are. Unless you decide to run away yourself. Yeah. That one we don't have an issue. But as long as you're in school, we never give up on you as a child. And the principal is very good in that. Yeah. Always saying, let us see them through. They are ours. We are supposed to give them opportunity so that they can make something better out of their life. Yeah. Yeah, not sending them away. So there could be very bad cases, a very bad case, but we'll not send you away. Yeah. Give you a chance. Okay. Make sure that you finish up and change. Yeah. So parents, do not be worried. Team up with the teachers. Yeah. Yeah.
There is hope.
There is hope.
Now, as we gear towards a conclusion of our conversation, yes. Children are now at home. Yes. They are not with the teachers. Yes. They're on holiday. Yes. What advice do you give to parents? What should they do? And the students as well who are at home so that they may change the trajectory of their lives? Yes. Yeah.
Okay, the holiday is here. I know parents have headaches, but they need a rest and they need to learn their children during this time. So as a parent, what we say, always engage them. Engage them in something at home. Okay. If you have maybe a rural home, take them to go and help their grandparents. If you don't have one, engage them there. Give them some work to do. So, when you give them responsibilities and you make sure they're accountable, then you're able to keep them busy. Otherwise, if they're idle, that's why there's no start moving up and about, visiting friends, they engage in so many activities. So always ensure that there's something for them to do once they go home. And take time to learn them, be with them, because that's an opportunity for you to learn your child. Be with them, know about their academics, engage them in their performances, engage them in what they're doing, so that at least they're able to enlighten you on what is in their life. Because some parents don't know their children. Totally, they don't know. Wherever they're going, they don't know. What they're doing, they don't know. So this is the time. For the 3 weeks, spare some time to be with them. But the bottom line, ensure that they are busy doing something. If there's a library around, send them there to go and read. So that they're able to keep themselves busy.
All right.
But I know you're having a headache. That's what we go through in school.
So now parents are getting a taste of what you get every day.
And you money for parents, you ask just one. As we have 1,000 plus that we have to deal with. But it's good. It's good for them to also have a break.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. What a joy and an honor it has been having this sit down with you and having this conversation. And what we are saying today is every child has a chance.
Every child has a chance. Never give up on your child. There's a chance for every child in this world. Never give up. Well, thank you so much, Mwalimu. What an honor and a pleasure it has been doing this with you. I'm happy.
And it is true what you have said. Every child has a chance. And I am a witness to that.
Thank you. You are a living witness.
Yes. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm happy.
Thank you. Wow. What a conversation we have had. Every child has a chance. And if you're doubting, you're staring at a real life witness to that. Seated today with my teacher, my high school teacher, who can testify to the fact that this is not theory, it is possible. And so if you're there and you're a student and perhaps the trajectory of your life has not been going in the right direction, you can begin today. Today you can choose for your life to take a different turn. If you're there and you're a parent and you look at your child and you're almost on the verge of giving up on them, do not give up. They too have a chance and their life can turn out for the better. Well, this is the end of our conversation for today. We pray that it has ministered to you, that there is something you have learned, but even more that you will use this conversation to begin something different for your life and perhaps for your child's life. This is a reminder that we are able to do this here at Family Media on account of partnership with men and women like yourself. And so we urge you for us to continue having this kind of conversations, that you consider being a partner. And so if it is possible for you, kindly send that message to 20316 with the word partner and somebody will get back to you. But perhaps if you want to give just a fast or one-time gift, please feel free to do that through the paybill number 316 and for account, kindly write your phone number. Well, we have come to the end of our conversation for today. Every child has a chance. Yes, you have a chance if you're there and you're a student and you feel, I blew it up. No, you can choose today for the trajectory of your life to actually change. Or perhaps you're a student and you're looking at your child. You're a parent and you're looking at your child and you have given up on them. Do not give up. They too have a chance. And we do pray and hope that this conversation will inspire you to transform your life and that of your child. Well, this is goodbye from us, but we want to remind you that we are able to do this on account of partnership with men and women like yourselves. And so kindly, if you are able, we ask that you would consider partnering with us. And so send that text message to 20316 and for account, write your phone number. But if you want to give a gift, kindly do that through the paybill number 316 and for account, kindly write your phone number.